What up, Ashton here. And as I've been zooming through the grades in my homeschool routine, it's felt awesome doing that. Got through four grades since last September. Just started levels 7 through 8 after taking a level 7 between 6-7 and 7-8. 6-7. Anyway, this is a video mainly about thoughts on high school and plans for high school, because I know that things with curriculum did change a lot with Sedona when she started high school 3 years ago. And much like my plans, she practically started as an 8th grader doing 9th grade work. That was her freshman year. Because 7th grade is a really great year for her. Anyway, my high school plans, I don't plan on using Denison math like she did, because that's actually a Christian curriculum. I know I said in an earlier video last year that I would. But yeah, I don't use Christian curriculums. I want what I'm learning to be 100% truth for how it actually happens scientifically. So I plan on using the Barron's Easy Algebra and the Barron's Easy Geometry and the Shawm's Geometry, along with some of the Chris McMullen and McGraw-Hill books. And as on the GASA website it says, that's Sedona used some Steck Vaughan science books. Gotta pick those up. There's also a book on physical science with Earth and space science that she used in freshman year. Of course, I'm going to be getting some big ideas books for Christmas for literature, history, and religion. I will also be getting the 12 Big Ideas book, because theology 1 will be a thing I do in my freshman year. Then, of course, history of Christianity, which I know sounds odd since I don't use Christian curriculum. But of course, learning about each religion during Frosh, sophomore, junior, and senior year would be good. Because freshman year, it's all about just all of them in brief review. There are still some books I'm still behind on, like Spectrum, Language Arts, and Brain Quest, nonfiction reading comprehension. I still haven't finished the 6th grade book, which is 5th grade level for me. So I gotta finish those before getting into the middle school demystified series for pre-calculus, calculus, advanced calculus, differential equations, linear algebra, complex variables, physics, advanced physics, chemistry, organic chemistry, all that stuff. But those books are expensive, so I'm going to save my money until then. As I've been earning a good amount of money per week for buying books for my curriculum. But yeah, freshman year is going to be... It's going to be much better than the original run of freshman year. Because that was a disaster back in 2014. But yeah, strive to be the best, just like Sedona. Sadly, the sophomore year and junior year don't have any videos for her curriculum, because Stephanie decided to, stop making those videos. I just really disappointed about that, and also the fact that Steph Dozier took down her Facebook and Instagram pages for both personal pages and GASA. I can't even access them anymore, and that's just horrible. I've been commenting on her videos multiple times about that. Can't send her a message on Instagram anymore because I was gonna, but now it's impossible. I don't know what's up with that. Why can't I view the Facebook and Instagram pages for Gasa and Steph Dozier? Anyway, for off year, I plan on doing Algebra 2, College Algebra, I do eventually plan on using the College Mathematics book, and then I do have the book for matrix operations. That one covers, like, matrices with square roots and imaginary variables in them. Biology and earth science will be done in freshman year, and then chemistry will be done in frosh year. Eventually, I plan on doing microbiology and psychology as well. Anatomy and physiology is also important because I never did that in the original run. But it just feels awesome that high school's coming up. I've got my book collection. Spectrum Language Arts, I'm still at level 7. But I have finished the big fat notebooks for science and math. I finished all the Spectrum Middle School mathematics books, so I'm on to the books that Sedona used in later parts of 7th and 8th grade hybrid. So, but I'm also using geometry, which she only used the proofs book, whereas I'm using the plain geometry books. I'm on level 1, which is 7th grade level. Level 2 will be 7th, 8th hybrid. The year after that. I currently just recently started American history, which is grades 7, 8, whereas world history is grades 5, 6, 6, 7, and 7. Notice how I put a 7 in between 6, 7, and 7, 8, which Sedona didn't do. Also, some of the books I have used in the past are right here. Over the past 2 years, I've gotten through 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 6th, 7th, 7th, and now 7th, 8th grade. There were some stuff below it that I've done as well on occasion, but those weren't like done at the same, they were done at the same time as the higher levels. I still do have some Carson DeLosa and Evan Moore books to finish at those grade levels along with Shell. Like, the Shell spelling and word study is still at 4 or 5 level right now. I'm only halfway through it. But those books are known to take longer because you have more sections in it than other books. The Spectrum Writing and the Spectrum Language Arts, they only have 4 sections in them. Whereas all Shell books have 36 sections. The one thing that confuses me is in the 5-6 update for Sedona, she said she wasn't a fiction reader, but then in 7, 8, 9, 9, 10, all those other years up to today, she was reading fiction. That's what confuses me. But the family in Tampa Bay, Florida, that I reference a lot in my videos. Personally, I'm not a fiction reader, but I'm going to do the same now that I'm up to 7, 8. And I got one of my books. This one is one that my mom really suggested I skip. But I wanted to read all 4 of the books that Sedona read in 7, 8. So, basically this video turned into something like discussing the past and where I'm at, but I'm looking forward to high school, where I use the high school level curriculum. I also plan on using the CLEP booklets and the AP booklets, because That's always something to stretch myself at. And then For Dummies is also a series that's like more adult. Another book that my friend recently shared with me is the People's History of the United States, which I'll be using during Frosh year. Because it's one of like the best United States history books, other than the Big Fat Notebook. It actually explains things for the majority of the people, not the minority. The People's History of the United States, unlike other history books, does not explain it to Donald Trump. It explains it to people. It explains it to regular people, people who think for the better and not for the worse. It also explains it to Kamala Harris, Joe Biden, Barack Obama, whereas the other ones are like more conservative. But yeah, recently in the Big Fat Notebook, I found myself at the United States Civil War. So I plan on covering that stuff again in Frosh year. And then during sophomore year, I plan on doing government. And junior and senior year are basically just going to be like college level stuff covered in those years to prepare for the college level books. Like the ones from Springer and Shams. Though Shams is going to start off in high school. Springer, that's more of like a higher level stuff that goes all the way up to the doctorate level. Gotta prepare. Bye.